Hi, everyone. This is Carol Brooks Ball. I'm the Director of Digital Media here at AARP Massachusetts.
And I am Cindy Campbell, Director of Communications here at AARP Massachusetts.
And we're here with our second live Fraud Watch Network update on scams that are happening now that you need to be aware of and to prevent.
And we promised you we would be back in 2 weeks. And look, it's 2 weeks later. So here we are.
We're amazing.
And you know what else today is? Tax day, Carol. Have you done your taxes?
Yes, I've done the taxes. Have you?
I have.
Yeah?
Yes.
Was it painful?
Well, not really.
Okay,
Not really. I
well.
got them done early to make sure. But you know, there's a new scam that people ought to be aware of.
There is. It's a very new scam. It is something that has to do with a portion that is real and true. But here's how it works. The IRS is now using private debt collection companies to recover past tax debt. However, being aware of this, scammers are now pretending to be some of these these debt collection companies by calling you on the phone. Here's how it works. There are only 4 organizations that are authorized to collect debt on behalf of the IRS. A group called CBE Group of Cedar Falls, Iowa. And by the way, this will all be on our website after, so you can always check it out at www.aarp.org/MA. The second debt collection group authorized by the IRS is Conserve of Fairport, New York. The third is Performant of Livermore, California. And the fourth is Pioneer of Horsehead, New York. So if you have an overdue federal tax account, first the IRS will mail you a letter letting you know that they are turning over the overdue account to one of these 4 private debt collection companies. The private debt collector will then call you or send you a letter confirming the account and then contact you by phone to discuss. The debt collector will be able to discuss payment options with you, but the only way you can pay the past debt to the IRS is electronically or by check payable to the U.S. Treasury, not the IRS. So if you are called about a previous debt that has been unpaid to the IRS, make sure that you have written down the names of these 4 private debt collection companies. If it's not one of them, hang up.
Right. Absolutely. Easiest way to put it, right? If they're not authorized, then absolutely you need to hang up and not have to deal with that at all.
And if you're concerned and you're not sure about this and do I owe any back taxes, you can actually visit www.irs.gov/balance due. And we'll have that appearing here. Excuse me, my phone happens to be ringing. Hold on just for a moment. Hello?
Hi, can you hear me? Well,
that is a new scam. It's called the Can You Hear Me scam. Believe it or not, that's how it works.
that's how it works.
And Cindy was the callee. I was the you were the caller. I was the callee, sorry. And the best thing you can do is what I just did. Hang up.
Right. Hang up the phone. Because what's happening in this scam is they want you to say yes. And what are they doing, Carol? They're actually recording your voice saying yes.
Perfect. They're recording your voice. It's called a voice signature. And they can then use your recorded voice saying yes to make fraudulent credit card charges on your accounts. Just by you saying yes. So it can take several forms, Cindy. It could be someone just calling saying, hello, can you hear me? It can be, for example, we've had reports of a cheery woman's voice, like Cindy's, saying, hi there, adding, I was having a little trouble with my headset. Can you hear me? To which you don't want to say yes. Or it could be, hello, are you the homeowner? Don't say yes. Or is this the lady or the man of the house? Again, don't say yes.
Right. And really what we're trying to tell people in all of this is that you don't want to answer a call from someone that is unfamiliar. So you always want to make sure you check that caller ID first.
Hopefully you have caller ID. If not, an inexpensive answering machine is a great way to go. You can pick them up for very little money. And don't answer calls from someone you don't know. Was it rude for me to hang up on you like that, Cindy?
Well, I thought it was because you knew that it was me and that you would hang up the phone immediately anyway, which is often what Carol does.
That's a different story, folks. But anyway, it really wasn't rude of me because had I not known it was Cindy, and I didn't know who it was, hanging up is the right thing to do.
Exactly. And quite frankly, you know, we are joking here, but if this call was legitimate for me, I would just call her back and say, Carol, you just hung up on me. What's happening here? So, I mean, legitimate people don't often call back and say, you just hung the phone up on me.
That's right.
You know, so forth. So
there you go.
Something to be aware of there.
That's right.
And the other thing that we're talking about, Carol, too, is we've been hearing a lot about the tech support scam for a while now, right? And that's unfortunately many people have fallen victim to the tech support scam. So we want to make sure that we just keep this top of mind for you. We've often talked about the tech support scam, at least the Fraud Watch Network has. But again, we know that a lot of people are still doing this and still trying to get people at home or on their computers. So they've been around for years, these tech support scams. They often come under the guise of a pop-up message
on your computer.
Right, exactly. Saying that your computer has a virus and you have to click this particular pop-up in order to get that virus off your computer, but you don't need to do that. Because what ends up happening is once you click on that pop-up window, you do get a virus into your computer, and then it can be locked by a fraudster.
That's right. It's called ransomware.
Right.
And then they hold your computer, your private data for ransom until you pay them a fee.
Right. And in fact, what we've also seen too, so there's the pop-up stuff, but we've also seen them, scammers, cold calling as well, calling you at home and claiming to be from a major computer company.
Like Microsoft.
Like
or
Microsoft,
Apple.
right? And they're indicating that a virus or malware has infected your computer. Now, how would they know that, right?
They wouldn't.
That's how you know it's a scam.
That's right.
Right.
So
one of the ways that you need to make sure that you do this is that you want to make sure that your computer is up to date as much as possible too. So you want to make sure you have the latest virus and malware that is going on all the time, and that it is updated, right? Because that's what we
Correct.
tell people. If
right.
your virus software isn't updated, you're not going to be able to get the first line of defense against any fraud or scams coming your way.
exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's very important to know.
And just like, again, the pop-up, an email you don't recognize, a phone number you don't recognize, don't click on it on your computer, don't answer it on your phone.
Right, exactly. Because that is just the easiest way to do it.
Now we've got something else that's primarily targeted at men.
Right.
Or men are the typical victims of this. So what's
Exactly.
this about?
Well, this one, Carol, is about, are you at risk for investment fraud? Now, AARP went out and did a study a couple of months ago on this and has come up with 8 risk factors for people that predict who might be most likely to be defrauded. Now, what you should know, of course, is that there is no one factor that makes a person, causes someone to be scammed. But these are just things to think about that a scammer might also be thinking about when they're calling you. So here's some factors that may raise your risk of being defrauded. First, if you're male, gender. If you have high annual trading frequency, that means you trade more than 5 times per year. So it's something that's more frequent. You respond to frequent solicitations by phone, email, and regular mail. And scammers can kind of track that stuff too, right?
Can
They know to some degree whether you have said yes before. Even we know that if someone happens to pick up their phone more often than others, they might get on a scammer list.
That is true, right.
Meaning you might be more able or more apt to answer the phone, and therefore a scammer might be more interested in you as opposed to someone who
That's
hangs
true,
up the
though,
phone.
that you're right, that is tracked.
Exactly. You might also have some frequent remote investing in response to TV, email, or phone calls. So if you like to make quick decisions based on something that you might see on your computer or TV, that's a risk factor. You also might have a mindset that wealth is an important measure of success in life. People who are more motivated by wealth as a success might end up being more susceptible to scams and fraud as they occur. Also, a mindset that unregulated investments are more profitable might make you a little bit more prone to be defrauded. Also, a worldview that is described as conservative, and those who are of older age might be more susceptible to investment fraud and risks. That's definitely something else to think about there.
Correct. Now, if you meet all of these factors, there's nothing wrong with you. Right. You are fine.
Right.
But it's just that based on the study and the survey that we did, you may be more susceptible to this type of scam and fraud.
Exactly. So what happens if you are in some of those groups? So what should you do if you've been defrauded, Carol, or you think you've been scammed?
Well, first of all, you should only invest with registered advisors and investments. Put yourself on the Do Not Call registry. You should do that anyway, regardless of just this scam.
Yes.
That's www.donotcall.gov. You could get a telephone blocking system to screen out potential scammers, which would also help you with the other scams that we've talked about this morning. Limit the amount of personal information you give to salespeople until you verify their credentials. This is critically important.
Yes.
Don't make an investment decision based on a TV ad, a phone call, or an email.
Right.
And don't make any investment decisions under stress. even if it means you're on the phone with someone and they're pushing you or hurrying you.
Right. That's often the worst times, and that's a flag too. Why would you need to be rushed through making such an important decision, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And we go back to what we mentioned the first time. Our Fraud Watch Network ambassador, Frank Abagnale, refers to that's the point when a scammer gets you when, as he calls it, you're under the ether. Emotions are high.
Right.
You're maybe a little stressed, and you're more susceptible to doing something that you will regret.
Exactly. And it's always a good idea too, if you have any questions about any of this, is that you go onto the website at www.aarp.org/fraud, or you can also call the scammers, I should say the Fraud Watch Network hotline, which is 877-908-3360. Now, we have one more scam attempt to talk to you about. Now, you may think that this is a little bit in the future, but it's actually happening right now. So, AARP, in fact, issued a special alert on this. And this is because Medicare card changes that are happening in 2018 are causing some scammers to try to scam you today. So, here's how this works. Congress, as you may or may not know, passed a law in 2015 that requires the Centers for Medicaid and Medicare Services to remove Social Security numbers from all Medicare cards. Now, that's something that we've heard of for a long, long time, that people just did not want that Social Security number on their Medicare cards.
Do you remember in Massachusetts, it used to be on our licenses?
I do remember that. I do. Yeah, when I first got my license, it was
Yeah.
there, and then it changed to a different number.
Exactly.
Which has been more helpful, of course. Now, Medicare is also hopping on that bandwagon. So they're going to start issuing those new cards in April of 2018. So about a year from now, that's when those new cards will be issued. But the problem is, what we're seeing right now is that people are actually calling up and asking people to pay to get a new Medicare card, which we know is not true. That's why we know it's a scam. So what's happening is Medicare beneficiaries are getting calls from people claiming to be from Medicare, asking for payment to receive their new Medicare card, or asking them to verify their Medicare number. And the other thing that they might do is of course, Medicare will never call to verify your number because they already have it, right? So that's the first flag. Somebody's calling you to verify that information, you automatically know it's a scam. Hang up. Right.
Exactly.
And it's all free. There's never a cost to get your new Medicare card, so remember that.
And is this the case, Cindy, where people who are new signing up to Medicare, will they be getting their new cards earlier, like this new kind of card with a different number?
I believe
thought
that
I'd read
all of this will go into effect in April of 2018.
Okay,
So
until then.
nothing until then,
Okay.
from what we understand.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot of information to process, isn't it?
Yeah, sure has. Hope you've
Yeah.
written it all down.
Yeah.
It's a good thing it's on video.
There you go, exactly. You can watch this again and again.
Yes.
So we've wrapped up another bi-weekly Fraud Watch Network update with Carol Brooks Ball.
Yeah, it's Cindy Campbell. So glad to see you all here again and joining us for this session. And you'll see us again in 2 weeks or less.
Thank you.
All right, take care.
Bye-bye.